I think Alexander the Great would be really proud of my current campaign that I just finished. Beautiful Greece, a bit different borders than him, and a very cursed path to form it, because I didn't go for the Athens achievements here. No. I went for 2 achievements, including a Greece achievement, but also on top of that, a breadbasket of the world. So I'm gonna start as the Mamluks to export growing to all of the continents, while then forming Greece and owning provinces here, as well as here. Very nice and cursed campaign at the same time, so fasten seatbelts and see how it happened. Sponsor of this video and the channel in general is eneba.com, which is a marketplace where you can buy keys for games, subscriptions and gift cards. There's currently an ongoing sale with plenty of good games at very discounted price, so if you're looking to play something new while waiting for EU5 to be released, this is the right page and the right moment to use it. Use link in the video description to also support the channel. What we are being greeted with is an event about fate of Syria, which can give us scores on these provinces on the cost of increased liberty desire or just lose legitimacy and prestige. Now that's not an easy of a choice, because yeah, I'll be able to annex them for free, but with increased liberty desire it's gonna be much harder to click this mission, which is important to go north. But I'm gonna click it anyway, but it's alright. Yeah, let me first of all take care of some estates. We will definitely need to get strong duchies to decrease their liberty desire and not be over the relations limit anymore. And on top of that, I will just not take that much. Superas of the Crown and manpower, and of course mill points. From Mulam I will take the admin mana. Increase monthly piety, as it's at 50 already, as well as Diplo rep. From merchant guilds I'll take also mana, prestige, 1% loans, and tax. While from the Demi, we don't really have different religions, so let's maybe just increase the loyalty for now. We'll come back to it later. And of course, let's seize land, sound diet. This is an easy one to get just an employee advisor. About that, I'm gonna take, these guys are not cheaper, so let's just take unrest. Same, nothing cheaper here. Ideally take improved relations, but Diplo rep is gonna be useful. And here I'm gonna look for someone better, level 1. The Navy, let's send it to protect trade in Alexandria. And I'm gonna recruit some Mamluks cavalry, as it's gonna be very useful to defeat the Ottomans with this amount of cav. Great, I don't need to click this. We can improve some trade centers, at least one for now. Let's pick up some rival. Also is gonna be obviously Ottomans, PQ. Let's also do the Timurids. And I'm gonna start going north immediately. We do have professionals, so it's not really worth to get mercs, at least yet, until I slacken everything. And we need to somehow get these guys more loyal. How about we start with spending some prestige and building up army. Army is gonna be also important in this step. Some of the money I'm gonna also just start building more trade ships, just up to the force limit for now. Medina is an easy one to make them a subject. Let me start improving relations with them already. In the meantime, we should definitely improve relations with these guys. Divert trade from both Fadl and Hijaz with the special units recruited. And reminder, they have morale damage, reinforced speed and army drill gun modifier. So should definitely drill them before declaring the war. About that, I just start some general drilling. And this mission gives me access to new estate agendas for the Mamluks estate. Let's see, with that army they're already down to 68 of Liberty Desire, and next we'll just have to develop them a little bit, which is not a cheap thing to do, but they have some nice provinces to develop. Ideally we don't spend mill points, as we'll need it for the war, but yeah, I'm gonna just click it once. One more dev click and they should be loyal. Yep. With them loyal, I can create the mission to the northern territories, which gives me them prosperity around here, and claims on all of this stuff. Which means we can go ahead and declare war on the boys around here. Do I have access to the Kandar? I mean the colonial range. We do. We want to kill as much as possible before declaring the Ottomans. I'm actually gonna start with Dulkadir, because my friend's Dulkadir is often a first target of the Ottomans. Since I'll be fighting Ottomans, let's take some galley combat ability. And maybe recruit one more galley. Let's not slow down, make sure this guy's full siege, and declare on Ramazan. With Kandar, not as a co-belligerent, I don't want to fight Crimea. You see, I can use ships to simply go ahead and land on the Kandar provinces before they get declared by the Ottomans, which is also usually imminent. In the meantime, I'm gonna take this 10,000 and declare Anizach to conquer their lands. First test of the Mamluk regiments. I may have a bit too much of calf in this province. That's fine. Let's see when the shock phase comes in. They're getting destroyed. We're piecing out nations like Hiskaifa that, you know, I can't do really much with them. Let's take just as much as possible to get extra prestige. The prestige that I have spent on Syria. And from Dulkadir, obviously, I'm gonna... could feed Syria these lands. But I want a direct access to the Ottomans, so let's take them for ourselves. Now I'm ready to clone Karaman. They will be protected by Great Ord, which is scary, but I'm just hoping for them to not be able to access us. These two provinces are obviously going to Fadl. Yes, yeah, let's just give them to Fadl. There's no need for us to spend extra mana. We can play around with the subject. And the Ottomans attacked Kandar, which is not that bad of the news because I could just subjugate them and get a defensive war. I just didn't even try getting allies, so let me think about this. My main worry is that Ottomans are probably gonna take the deck next year, why I'm not even close to it. But I feel like I'm gonna take the risk, because look, I'm gonna separate piece Kandar to make them my subject. This is gonna take over the war, and here with Ramazan obviously I'm gonna fully annex, and this war is gonna need some time because Great Ord is still in it. Let me just make sure to stop the access from Shirvan to not lose diplo points. Now size of the armies we have more, but yeah, that technology is gonna give an edge. Yeah, the moment I declared they took Tech 4, so I have to be very cautious of any battles. But you might be asking, okay, how you handle Ottomans without the tech advantage? The answer is simple. Take it slow. Take only the battles when you have future members advantage, take battles with a Koyunlu that is not having the technology, and wait for yourself to get that tech. That's why I'm gonna try wiping the stack from the Great Ord. It's planes, obviously they do more damage, so it is not a wipe. But the stack actually disappeared, it vanished. So it was actually a wipe for some reason. And since this stack is out of manpower, I'm gonna just consolidate infantry. And in their place, I will recruit a Grand Company. There it is, didn't have to wait really much. And now I have much bigger chances of winning that. At last, our ruler just died. 2 to 3 is something I want to change for sure. How about we take the... guy that gives us terrible. How old is he? 39, at least he's not that young. Let's also change this to improve relations. In the meantime, I can just fully annex Karaman and make sure to concentrate this land. I could call in Medina to help, but I don't need them. Now to make this campaign more spicy, we of course got a comet. This unfortunate with all of these modifiers already. There are gonna be some rebels. It's not that bad news for us that this war is ongoing a bit long. It's actually not like super long, it's just 5 years. Because we are getting Ottomans weaker and weaker and weaker with each year of it. Especially if I build spy network on Byzantium and I snap Byzantium before the Ottomans do. Akoyun like an white beast. And normally I wouldn't mind, but in this case we need Urfa to complete one of our missions, so I'm gonna have to siege down their capital. Let me also revoke guarantee on Cyprus so I can eat them in 5 years. Akkoyunu. I'll definitely need Urfa, break relations with the Ottomans, clear corporations and max money. Now I still don't have enough war score of the Ottomans to finish this war, so I have to continue. But subjugate the Beyliks is improving one of these buttons to give me professionalism. I also get more claims and add me stats to our ruler, which I definitely don't mind. But yeah, let's start searching the Ottomans because they're down to 13,000 troops and take 5. And destroying the rest of Ottoman army and navy. Army just got wiped. Navy got mostly destroyed. They're down to 12 ships and 1,000 of troops. It's a good moment to peace out. And you say I want to close their terrains in Anatolia inside my country, plus take full money. Now this terrain is taken, I can immediately claim Byzantium. Take a mission, crush Anatolia, which gives me the stats to ruler, and anyway, claim some Balkans, so I don't have to claim Byzantium. Before I declare, let me vassalize Medina, Magli, and maybe I should have waited. And I will go ahead and make this guys loyal and start annexing them in a second. But yeah, vassalizing Medina is the holy cities, which gives me a decision to inherit Medina immediately. But it's like Hijaz is gonna inherit it, right? Yep. It's good, less subjects on the list here. Let me from the Mamluks estate make sure to take this, which is gonna increase the liberty desire, but I'm not gonna get hit by diplomatic reputation impact when I finish the annexation, which is gonna be important. As I'll annex Serbia just within a month tick. Look, 31st October, start annexing, done. Let's make sure just to state this, as I had cores there, still having some gov capacity. But yeah, just within the first 12 years, you see we're already at 506 development. Let's now go and declare on Byzantium, before the Ottomans think they can do that. I definitely don't need that many forts, so let me already remove some of them. And it's time to start expanding to 2 fronts at the same time. So while I'm fighting with Byzantium, I'm already gonna start declaring war in Arabia. How about we do it on Shamar? For tier 2 guarantee for Mamluks have a unique reform, which is called Divan al-Kas, that gives construction cost and dev cost.
Nice.
Fully annexing Byzantium, but of course, as you might imagine, this is simply to release them back. So then I will be having a reconquest casus belli on the Ottomans. One of my favorite things to do in the wars is taking over sieges. You see, I declared on Nach, that was at war of Davasir, so I also declared on Davasir, and that siege at 21%. Once I kill Nach's army, it's gonna be mine at also 21%. Now that I got some non-Muslim provisions, let me take the guaranteed Dhimmi autonomy. But also tolerance of heathens. And religious unity. So now we'll have here the tech cost. I'm stacking the tech cost here, so getting up to date with the text will not be a problem. I would just first prefer to get an institution where it's not even close. And Bulgarian succession already happened. Well, it's pretty standard under Austria. What's more interesting is what happened to Castile and Aragon. French conquest of Cantabria. What a disaster. You see, in Arabia, I'm mostly feeding my subjects, as it's not like I can core everything myself. And in Africa, I'm just making good borders, except Wolodia. But yeah, if you just now look at this beautiful subjects. I'm also hitting point cap and I have full piety. So let me take this for just 490 points. Let me take this for just 550 points. And I can lock my first idea group. I'm not sure what I want to take. I mean, influence wouldn't be so bad for the diplomatic annexation cost. And you know what, guys? I think I'm gonna start with it. Let me just make sure to focus Diplo. Diplomatic reputation doesn't help. Also, income from vassals. How much am I earning from vassals already? 0.74. So if this change, it's actually 2 ducats a month. I think for all of these wars here in Africa, I need one fort that's gonna fix all of my issues. A fort over here. Here's an entry point to whole Egypt. But yeah, before that, how about we go and take some AE impact? Oops, guys. Looks like Ottomans have 22,000 army closed in Anatolia without any possibility to leave it. They only have 3,000 outside of it. This is all I'm taking, and I think all of these provinces... Yeah, let's fit all of these provinces to Hijaz. Awesome. Now that should give me 2 missions. The Tahirdi realm is gonna give me Coffee Arabica, which is monopoly on coffee. Base tax on coffee provinces, not bad. Or 1 per action every province's coffee. Actually, both are not so useful, as I don't have many coffee provinces. Unite Arabia gives me private great hydraulic rights from the merchant guilds, which is reduce the development cost caused by terrain type of desert, coastal desert, steppes and savanna by 50%. Very important to develop this for the mission tree. I also need to build a navy here to actually win with Hormuz. Let me start doing so, especially that I need 35 ships for the mission tree. I might need to take a break, but I think I'm gonna take a break with the truce times. Once I handle this, guys, and another war with the Ottomans, which are dying. They don't have no chance to defend here without an army. This city here gives all powers cost. I'd love to use it for deving. I'm still a bit behind in the technologies and I still need institution. It's spreading slowly. Actually, because Venice has a positive relation, so let me improve it more just to keep it. That Liberty from subject is gonna be extremely useful. Building the fleet is a naval enterprise, which gives them choice what kind of bonus I will get for our doctrine, which I didn't have before. I mean, I have like the default one for galleys. Galley compatibility and cost, large ship cost and ship trade power, heavy ship bonuses, or some bonuses for the fleet speed and marines. I mean, yeah, none of this are really more helpful. Like, yeah, the galley is nice, but I already have the galley bonus. Since I got my advisor level 3 and got the Caribbean merchants, which gives cloths in Cairo, you know, instead of cloth, that was already pretty good. But obviously cloths are a completely different level with 8 of the base price. And we start annexing Kandar. They're very small and don't plan to feed them with more provinces. And they're taking a Diplo slot. Although I shouldn't annex anyone until I get this. Let me take a few loans and improve some trade centers. I think I need to improve 3 trade centers. So now I'll be able to go embrace the golden era just after the month tick. Thank you, and now we scale. And I have to start the whole scaling with fixing the autonomy in our core provinces. So let's just go here and reduce all of this. That might be some rebels. I mean, there will be rebels caused by that. But that's an important step to like actually start scaling, because I started with like heavy expansion, which is great. Look how much we've conquered already, but now I have to stabilize it and increase the income. To do that, I also have to move my main node to Constantinople, but I will do that after the next war with the Ottomans, which I can declare in 4 years. Since I've got both inflation and trade efficiency advisors, I could get radical reforms, which is 400 mana, again for scaling. Which unlocks me the diplomatic annexation cost, also trade range and the global trade power. Let's annex Kandar, now only for 85 points. Pope likes me so much we can get an alliance. And with an alliance, they're gonna be willing to share with me the institution. With loyal merchant guilds and some mill mana saved, I can actually start deving, because there are a few missions that require that. So here we just need Dumyat and Iskandria to have marketplaces. So it's fine, we can take that and build that. One done. For this, we need Kyra to have 3 buildings or 8 dev clicks. It has 7 dev clicks, so we just need to dev it once. Done. In exchange, I'm gonna get this to level 3 trade center, super useful. For this, we need to build workshops in all of these provinces. So let's start doing so. Again, that is not something I'm afraid of. Let's wait for the others for now. Let's focus on this too. This is something that will help with debt management is the bookkeeping, which is reducing the interest per annum to 3.68%. When the marketplace is done, we're getting the loans provision will not take mercantilism, and construction trade buildings will grant 5 prosperity. It's not bad. Now, any of this is easy to be done. Well, they are all doable, but I wouldn't say immediately doable. Let's just focus on this for now. I need to start actually making money to do it further. Actually, this one is not so hard. I just need to dev all of them once. You know what, let's just do that. Especially that some of them are not really expensive to develop. And now, you see, in exchange, I'm gonna get 1 base production in all of these provinces. And a new burger privilege, which I can't take. Actually, because I took the bookkeeping. That's too bad. Yeah, I might just want to reduce this guy's influence. That's gonna be doable to revoke something. Let's not stop and declare on Hormuz. We need to Hormuz, but the easiest war goal is gonna be Yabrin. Can I? Yes. Let's just do that. Go for Katif. How many armies Ajam has? Oof. I have to be very cautious and get more troops around here. The workshop's done. I'm getting 5 Kramland. And export grain. Diplomatic action that is required for the achievement. We should be able to export grain to Pope already. I see the border distance is gonna be important. Do we have it in the macro builder, please? Yes. I can export grain. That's perfect. Fadl counts as Asia. And Byzantium counts as Europe. The 2 continents already done. We have to do both Americas, Oceania, and Africa. Mr. Ottoman. It's time to have some fun. Akuyun would help them, and Tunis. We should leverage that. Let's not declare yet before we finish the war with Formos. If I'm in South Venice, while I have a bigger navy with them, I can take this, which gives me trade power in Alexandria as well as mercantilism. While for this, we need some coastal batteries and more light ships. For third titles, I'll be able to embrace the institution. At last. Now let's also follow this up with some loans being slowly repaid. To play more tool, I'm just gonna take the Perma Scholar from the privilege for the development cost. On the South Hormuz, these are not the perfect borders, but as good as I can to get Hormuz on this mission, which is perma claims around here, as well as trade center increase in the Hormuz itself. Should we start annexing Hijaz? What will be the cost? Just 800 points and like over a decade I'll be finished. In the meantime, I can ally Adel and export grain to them. So then we'll be only left with Oceania and Americas to get the achievement. Oh yeah, here it is. This will cost us 50 admin mana. We get 2 mercantilists and they get all of these bonuses. I should start doing some trade companies. So how about we add a Hormuz to it? Home, some continent is Levant, everything that I expanded into. So that's why I didn't really do trade companies so far, but yeah, Hormuz is a good starter. It has 29% by itself. If we follow this up with a marketplace, let's take this tech. It's not that expensive, the bonuses I stacked. And unlock second idea group. I think I'm gonna take something military. There's not that much left in this campaign anyway. So we can just take something to have fun, or we could take admin for cooperation cost. Actually, I'm gonna go admin for gaff capacity even more than cooperation cost. But yeah, let's declare on the Ottomans. As mentioned, it is gonna get us into war with Tunis, but also Akoyunlu. That's why I have the troops prepared here. Thought co-belligerent these guys. Co-belligerent these guys. Funny enough, I was thinking about dealing with these guys. They got rebels from Byzantium. Worst part, they don't have enough to enforce here. Why fighting Tunis? I'm gonna use it to declare on Fezzan as well. So we clear the borders around here. I think I got the Ottoman Byzantines back. They didn't siege their rebels promises earlier. Now they just have plenty of funky troops that are not moving. I think I'm gonna restart the game to see if it's gonna fix it. Yeah, it worked. I don't know why, but yeah, maybe they got more rebels or this. For some reason, rebels enforce inroads, which gives me Bastion of the Knights, and of course they will stop freaking raiding us. This should also give me another mission since I got prosperity here. Cultivate the Delta, which gives me the grain trade in Egypt. That for the Nile estuaries will get base production development, local trade power, or I get mercantiles. The granaries of the Mediterranean, what is giving? Like a goods produce +2. And being able to export grain more. Let me actually take this because I'm not sure if... I think it just requires me to export once and then I don't have to do it again. But in case I have to export everywhere else, maybe just click it. For why I'm already making money. Just before I even take over the whole Constantinople node and move my main nodes there. So I'm slowly repaying my debt. Looks like our ruler is dying. So let me just the basic currency before he dies. And exchange this. Then we can choose an heir. So how about we get the Egyptian one? And it's again trash. I'm not safe scamming this kind of stuff, you know, guys. Taking all this from the Ottomans. So course of Byzantium plus border of Serbia and clearing borders in Anatolia. That's our player's map mode now. Next step is to declare on Serbia because we need Zeta for the achievement. Tier 3 country form is state maintenance and unique state edict for this age, which is plus 50% tax. Let's me embrace it everywhere. There goes the Serbian terrains. Yeah, I can't core this because I wanted the Kosovo gold mine, but yeah, let me just actually release them as a subject. We're gonna annex them later, don't worry. We better off start fixing borders around here, so let me declare war on Alotia. There goes the last influence idea. My first limit is 54, and with that monas it's up to 62 from the vassals. Another nation I have to handle is Cyprus. That is gonna... France is a defender of Catholic... Yeah, I'm cleaning shit here with France. How about Albania? Yeah, same issue. I mean, there's no rush. Persia formed. I'm actually starting to lack gaff capacity. So how about we take some from Ulema, but also then Sisland. I've got Cyprus as a subject anyway for the event chain. Just improve relations with them and constant military access from Marhan. And Cyprus gives me a mission, Seize Nicosia, which is Splendor. Additional stats for the ruler. And for the gates of Constantinople, I need, yeah, a capital of the Ottomans. That's for the next war. Let's just expand into Ethiopia in the meantime. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that I am first great power. One development in the subject. W conquest of Ethiopia, it's yet another mission beyond the Nile. We get the beacons of Gondar, which is either flavor events above Ethiopia or unlocking Kava tier 5 country form. That's actually pretty good, but I'm interested in that flavor events because I know what Kava is. It's time to move our nodes to Constantinople. To do that, I'm gonna also state this 3. Take a loan so I can improve these trade centers. Another one. Then move the main node here. Start transferring from Alexandria and Aleppo. So it might not be worth it initially, but let's take a look. We've got, especially that time so overextended. It's 30. I think it's another month tick. That's surely not correct. What's showing now? Like 73 trade power and just 1.7 going to Constantinople. That's not true, yeah. It's 23. It's actually not that worth because too much is being stolen from Constantinople. That's what I'm gonna collect here. And we need to build a lot of trade ships. Yeah, it's already with just my basic fleet and improving Constantinople back to 30. And we just need to scale it further. Focus annexation of Hijaz. The borders looks even better. I should do Fadl for further improvement of it, but I want to annex Byzantium first. Which is gonna take 15 years, but I'm not making much of diplomat yet. It's gonna increase. But I was over 1,000 development, so I can become an empire. See now the core provinces and fleet organized. It's 36 of trade income, and we need to further increase that. Let's also finally clear borders with Hormuz, which is gonna get at this war with Persia. If you now have trade power in Aden, I can get mercantilism and improvement for one of the privileges for burghers, and harness the spice trade. Gives me 4 Mamluk expeditions. Merchant guilds privilege, but let's not take it. Because you see it gives 20 loyalty to merchant guilds, which is still not enough to cancel one of the privileges. Yeah, we need to reduce the influence in order to clear that and cancel one of this. Look, the borders now should be perfectly clean, thanks to the annexation of Hormuz. And we should focus now. We should focus now on getting the provinces needed for the Greek achievements. So, Tata, Roch, and a province here that I don't see yet, Lamba. To get the provinces here, I'm gonna attack Sindh, which is actually, I like to Delhi that is holding Roch. I'm not sure it's gonna be enough war score to get to there, even if we go belligerent. But I mean, it's worth trying. I think that's gonna be my final war with the Ottomans. It's still not full annexation, but yeah, it's probably not. If not me, the AIs are gonna finish them off later. I don't have luck to rulers, guys, at all in this campaign. With Thras in our hands, I'm getting the Gates of Constantinople, which gives me tier 3 guarantee for integrated Ottoman officials, which gives me pashas and reveals the ruler's skills. Yes, yes, triple yes. Is it automatic? No, I have to switch it. Let's maybe switch it when my ruler dies next time. Look, perfectly calculated to get both of the provinces I need. Now we need to somehow get here the stone maps from Kilwa. So yeah, let me declare on Marehan, so we get access the direct border to Kilwa. So let me take this too. Now I can claim Kilwa and immediately declare a war on them. And this is, I guess, one of the events about Ethiopia. 50 reform progress and a much cheaper advisor. I actually need admin mana a lot, so let me take this advisor. With these borders, and then later taking exploration ideas, I should be in a good spot to get that province needed. Maybe next war I'm gonna connect my borders if I declare on kill again. Depends. If I'll be in the mood to do so. In the meantime, I want to start annexing Fadl. Well, getting the lands here gives me high wealth on an empire. No, that's not that. That's for fully building Czechia. So we can start the construction of the Suez Canal. Right? Did it start? Also, since Merchant Guild's influence dropped, can go and click this, which allows me to cancel that privilege. It only gives us influence, no loyalty. In exchange, we have a few, I think it should be like 2 or 3 privileges that we unlocked through the mission tree. Fund the Academy Merchants gives trade efficiency. It's not much though. Foreign Mamluk expeditions gives a colonies and a settler's chance. And this gives ship trade power. I'll go for this. And since I got that colonies, I'm gonna send it right away to Africa. Another privilege I'm gonna cancel from the merchant guild is the prestige one. And it is because now that I've got a colonist, I don't have to take exploration ideas to explore the new world. Because of this privilege, I can get an explorer and start having fun. I can actually annex the rest of my subjects all around the same time. Especially that I can finish out my ideas, which is gov capacity. But also, triple annexation costs policy. So like Fadl will be immediately finished. Love the borders. In a second also Cyprus and Serbia. Let's see if that works if I do it in the middle. So there goes Mamluk succession. So let's switch to integrated Ottoman officials. Yeah, there you go. These two are not bad. Bedouin and Circassian, both cultures that I don't have much development of, which is unfortunate, but this one is not bad stats wise. Let me embrace colonialism a bit late, but that should let me become up to date with the technologies yet again. Actually, I thought it's worse because in January I'll need to be up to date. I thought I'd like at least a year or two behind. But with this, I'm up to date with the 2. I just need Tech 10, which is also required to form Greece, I believe. I'll be also now doing 3 colonies. Cape, to get colonial range for South America. Just starting this to have colonial range to core Lamba. And this island here to have colonial range to explore Oceania. Have you ever seen Genoa not only expanding into Crimea and farther, but get so far into Caucasia? Third idea group doesn't really matter, but how about we take offensive for the siege ability? That's also discipline here, and I don't think it's gonna help us win this battle with Genoa. Kashifs of Egypt gives me yet another event, which just gives us access to local organizations, or I could form Egypt, which is an endgame tax, so we don't want that. So let me do that. Let's take a look at this Kashifs. Local dev cost and province governing cost. That is so freaking amazing. It also gives Mildev in the provinces. Like, that's perfect combination. Like, I just got so much of new development. This is so nice. This is especially for this. So why I'll be going for the stuff for the achievement, I want to clear a few things just for the nice border, for the thumbnail. So we want to take Trebizond, some of these minors, maybe even a small war in Persia for these lands, and not go for Alexander mode, guys. That would require a bazillion wars here. And then a war on Austria, which should be really interesting, looking at their alliances and amount of the troops, as we want to fix the borders here. But before that, I'll probably just attack Albania. Albania is in the freaking HRE. Oh boy, an ally to Poland. That might be impossible. At least war with Austria for this stuff. Oh wait, guys, Lamba. I'm already colonizing the province that is needed for an achievement, so I don't have to discover this region or conquer anything there. Oh. Well, at least I've got maps of it. But yeah, I don't have to move any farther. Well, this means I already own all of the provinces needed for the Greek achievement. What I need to do is to fix the borders a bit more and then obviously sell grain. Anyway, let's do that final war with Persia. There's gonna be plenty of guys that will join on their side, but we should be totally fine. This is only taking from Persia. As told you, just fixing the borders. Now we'll need to follow this up with the war with Basra, as well as QQ. I can ally Charua, and as my allies, they'll be more than happy to accept the export grain. So we'll be having only 2 to go: Oceania as well as North America. What is this Austria, by the way, doing? I think they've beat France because they reclaimed these provinces here. Oh boy, it's such a mess. That Austria is really powerful, although now they've lost some troops. It might be a good moment to strike. Argos exports grain to the Oceania. So now it's only North America lacking. And the problem here is there's too much of distance between borders to get this done, so I'm just waiting for the colony to be finished. There it is, thanks to just getting high trust and diplomatic reputation. I can simply go ahead and export grain to the last continent. There it is. One of the 2 achievements is done. Now we beat Austria and then form Greece. Since I've reached tier 5 country form, I can get modernized Furussia over there, which is giving us plus 5% discipline for special units and a higher force limit of them. And let me actually use that to get more of the Mamluk cavalry. How about we threaten war on Venice for this province to fix the borders? Let's reorganize our armies for that war with Austria. Around the command width. The combat width is 27. I in turn don't have that many cannons, so I'm just gonna have 2 cannon stacks. We don't need really more cannons, they don't deal that much for damage. Command width 27. Let's just make sure that we use the Mamluk units as a core. I mean, honestly, just use the whole of these guys. And here we can do a 27. This is gonna be a fighting stack, this is gonna be a siege stack. So you get the best, I have 2 best generals. You take the 6-5, have this guy, and you 2 guys will be reinforcing. So I can call in both Poland and Pope to help us out. They're gonna call in all of these guys. Did they get union over Aragon? That's interesting. And the provinces that we want to take will cost, I don't need this one, just this 3. It's just with 4 provinces, 21% of wars. Yeah, that's a problem. They're gonna siege me from Africa and maybe even more places. It's fine, I guess. I can just go ahead and recruit an independent company here to deal with them. And instead, I'm gonna just rush down Vienna to make it faster, since we got the bridge walls. And not much infantry in this stack, it's gonna be a bit worse, but still an easy one. And we should go for the war goal. Gram. Okay, yeah, not so far away. Anyway, the main advantage that I'm having in this war is how fast I'm sitting them down. So I will be able in a second to peace out for these 4 provinces. Yeah, since they have low attitude, I thought that's gonna be enough. But as soon as I finish it, Tlemcen Fort, it's gonna be 43, and around a month tick. Yep, easy. Just give me these provinces and some money. Okay, now we have to switch our main culture to Greek. See, it's already 10% of our development. I have to destate everything around here to achieve that. I think now, if I also destate, oh okay, it's destated. So I destate everything that is not my capital state. Now I can change my main culture to Greek. And I might have rushed it a little bit because it's not showing, and that's because Byzantium still exists. This is actually a requirement for Greece that Byzantium doesn't exist. Let me rush them down. Okay, now that they surrendered. I guess. Now that they surrendered, there's the decision from Greece. Of course, yes please. Look at this new color and the name placement. Greek ideas are not super useful. And there goes the second achievement. Okay guys, I hope that you did enjoy this interesting run, wasn't it? Let me know by liking this video, and of course, hype it to let me reach more of the viewers. Bye!